Heidi. Hello, everybody. Hola, todo mi gente. Number one, if you're getting your information about Mexico, even if the person is in Mexico, I've seen this happen and I'm like, what? Someone in Mexico is giving you information based on U.S. media. That's the number. Don't believe it. It's hype. There are people in Mexico who are fooling the people in other countries, such as the United States. Why do they want to do that? I don't know why. I really don't. But someone who actually frequents Mexico and is giving a viewpoint of Mexico isn't giving it correctly because they're using U.S. media sources, which is weird to me. Okay, you live in Mexico, you need to give the information as it is outside, as it's happening, as it truly relates to you. Not too long ago, and even now, there are people that are protesting the gas prices going out there that, oh my God, don't come to Mexico because everybody's looting. You're not going to have gas. You're not going to do this. You're not going to do that. You might get killed by the protesters, blah, 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 blah. It was not that serious. And it definitely wasn't happening everywhere. It wasn't widespread. Now, the U.S. media news source that they use pretty much made it look like it was widespread. And so if you're only going to use a U.S. media source, then expect to be uninformed completely. To number two, which is kind of a pun. This point is funny to me. And I say, stop the foolishness. Just stop it. This is what I'm going to say. When you get ready to go to another country, be it Mexico, be it Africa if you're going to another continent, be it wherever you're trying to go, do not go with this U.S. mindset. Don't do it. It's the worst thing ever. It is the worst thing ever that you could do for yourself. Because it will destroy you. It's not going to destroy anybody else. It's going to destroy you. Your experience, what I mean, your experience with this other country, how you adapt to this country. Can you assimilate? This is what's going to happen. You're going to be there with your U.S. mind in another country, and the only thing that you're going to do is find fault with that country. The only thing you're going to do is have a me versus them, us versus them kind of attitude. Now, this is happening. And I always say you can't truly get a good idea of what's happening in Mexico by only visiting the touristic towns or the border towns. Then you have some people who are going to, they may be in like border towns trying to live or frequently visiting, and then they may only visit really poor areas. That's such a contrast that you, again, don't know what's happening in the middle because it's such a contrast. What's happening in the very poor towns and the very poor cities is not exactly what's happening right here. And what's happening in the very ritzy, or maybe even not so ritzy, but these are the touristic-y areas and border towns, is definitely not happening here and not happening here. So get out and see some things. Other than if you only visit very poor areas, you're gonna think, oh, Mexico is so screwed up. Mexico is this. Mexico is bad. Mexico is horrible. All the Mexico is that. The Mexican culture is this. The Mexican culture is that. No, that's just because you visited a poor town. There are poor towns everywhere. In the U.S., there are poor towns. What I was trying to get around to was the fact that the person was like, oh my God, nasty in Mexico. They're nasty because they're wiping their butt and putting the tissue in the trash instead of down the toilet. Again, I'm gonna say what happens in one area may not happen in another area. You have to respect that. It's not that they're so nasty. You have to understand the infrastructure of their sewage system. Their pipes are not the size of our pipes. There are areas that do have pipes that are the size of the pipes from the U.S. The difference is money. Now, in the U.S., generally speaking, you get a contractor. The contractor comes to your home and they do everything to standard. Okay? Right. They're supposed to anyway. In the United States. In Mexico, and if you need more money in another area than you need in another, then you need to kind of put some more money in a different area. Having septic tank issues is not specific to Mexico. When I heard it, I was kind of like, what the heck? Okay, so there are areas that do not experience that at all. There are some areas, some places where you can go to as big as malls. And like I went to a mall. In the mall, there was a Chili's. We go to Chili's to eat. On the doors, clear as day, in each stall, there's two notices. One says, don't put, sanitary napkins in the toilet, which says that everywhere. And the other was, don't put toilet tissue in the toilet. Come on, let's be realistic. So I say it's because of the sewer lines. The sewer lines are smaller, and if you get them bigger, you're gonna pay for them. And then it also has to do with pressure. So in our house where we live, if we're downstairs, no problem with the toilet. If you're upstairs, you could possibly have a problem if you don't know better than to keep flushing paper, which was a problem that we initially ran into before everybody learned you should not flush the paper. Okay, so it was more of a water pressure thing when it was going upstairs. Either way, it doesn't have to be nasty. It doesn't have to be disgusting. It doesn't have to be any of that. It's not. I'm not gonna say it's their tradition or their. The certain words people use just throw me off. It's not a tradition. This is more or less a way of life, depending on where you live and what's going on with the area you live. There are certain areas that don't even have bathrooms. There are certain areas where you go to outhouses to use the bathroom. So those are poor areas. The areas where you have to put the trash, put your toilet tissue in the trash can doesn't make it a poor area. I initially understood that as soon as I crossed the border the first time, because you cross the border, I needed to use the bathroom. I go into the bathroom, and that's when I discover, on the note too, same thing, that you aren't supposed to flush the toilet with paper in it. Okay? If you need to save money, then something like your pipes might be one of the things that you save it in, because there's ways around that. So if you think that it's disgusting, you think that it's inhumane, you think that it's the nastiest thing in the world for someone to do, you probably don't need to go to Mexico now. Because it happens and it's normal. It's not a tradition and it's not a custom, but it's just normal. It's a normal way of life for some people. Now, I would tell you, if you end up in an area that has smaller pipes and it's not the best thing to flush toilet tissue down the toilet, then all you need to do is buy a trash bin that has a lid, number one. Number two, you can sprinkle baking soda in your trash can. Number three, you should be frequently taking your trash out. Why does your bathroom stink? Because your bathroom shouldn't smell from just tissue from two days, maybe 3. The trash people come and collect the trash twice a week. So there's no reason for you to have a disgusting smelling bathroom. They have bags that are scented. They sell them everywhere in Mexico. Buy the scented bags. Another thing you can do to keep down any imaginary odors would be to wipe your butt with a baby wipe. Most of those are scented and they help to absorb odor. And then throw it in the trash bin. You go to Mexico with this U.S. mindset, you're going to always be thinking them versus me. They're wrong. We're right. We're right the way we do this. Who said who was right and who said who was wrong? It's just the way of life in a different country. And if you're going to call yourself living there or try to live there or try to visit for a long time, you need to learn to be more flexible and how to adapt and assimilate into other people's culture. People go there and claim to live there, but they're always talking negative about the place. I feel like you shouldn't be in Mexico if the only thing you have to say is negative, because Mexico is beautiful. There are some beautiful places in Mexico, but it's just that you have to allow yourself to be open enough to see past certain things. Like, for example, when I first went to Mexico, I was wondering why a lot of the houses were behind walls. And I was like, well, where is the house? Where is the house at? Where is the house? Because my U.S. mind frame said, I'm supposed to be able to see your house. In this country, it's a whole entire different country and a whole different way of thinking. And they think like, why allow someone to see everything that you have? Do you not want it? Do you want someone to come and take it? So that made me immediately stop thinking like that. And if you've only had the privilege of visiting poor areas and you've only had the privilege of being in border towns, you're missing a lot of the beauty of Mexico and the real culture. The real culture. Those are nice places to visit. I'd love to tell you, go there, stay there, have a ball, but go outside of those areas sometimes, and visit other normal areas, normal towns. There are towns that are bigger than the towns you live in the United States. There are towns that have more than the towns that you live in the United States. Okay, you guys, have a great day. And, make sure that you subscribe to my channel. Make sure you hit the little notification bell. You have to do that so that you'll see the new things that I put out. And I think that's it for me for today. Que tenga buen día. Okay, I had to come back to say one little thing before I am totally done with this. I also heard somebody talking about people wiping their butts with their hands and washing their hands off, and that was supposed to be customary or normal in Mexico. I think the comment was that person went to the bathroom after they were in Mexico, and that's what happened. I would like to say that is not customary. That is not tradition, and that is not normal. That is not anything. What I will say, though, is the person who went into that store or whatever situation it was that they went into to use a bathroom, here's what can happen. You can go in there. When you're in Mexico, you basically have to always keep toilet tissue in your pocket because toilet tissue is often stolen from the bathrooms, just like it is in the U.S. So to keep their toilet tissue from being stolen, a lot of times they just won't include it. Doesn't mean you're meant to wipe your butt with your hand. And when you're in Mexico and you start learning the way of life in Mexico, you learn to always keep toilet tissue in your pocket, in your purse, in the glove compartment of your car, wherever. Okay? So that person probably didn't know that because the comment I read said that they had just crossed the border. So they probably just didn't know that. Or number two is that another common thing is that you would go to any place that has a public bathroom to use the bathroom and you have to pay. So if that person just went into that bathroom and didn't pay, then they didn't get toilet tissue. And there are places where you have to pay and you can't even go in there unless you pay. Now we're only talking like 5 pesos or so, but you still have to pay it. And you pay it. And once you pay it, they may give you like this little nickel looking, like a washer. Looks like a little washer. And toilet tissue. And an abundant amount of toilet tissue too. It's not like a little skimpy piece. It's a nice amount of toilet tissue. And this little washer. The little washer, you put it in a machine that's like a roundabout, so that you can go through and gain access to the bathroom and have people thinking like, oh no, I'll never go down there if they expect me to be wiping my butt with my hand. Nobody is wiping their butt with their hand and then washing it. Like, what are you? Seriously, guys, where y'all be getting this stuff from? Like I always say, like, consider the source. Like, really consider the source. Hopefully that helped somebody. Hopefully that prevented somebody from making a big boo-boo once they made it to Mexico and went to the bathroom. None of that stuff you heard about, that's their traditions, that's their customs. That's not true. It's just there's a different side to that story that you're not aware of. Hope that helped. Bye, you guys.